Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew. Y'all remember this, right? Last week, I was live, right here, live in living color. And I talked about Kid Austin and his dad, Floyd Schofield Sr., doing an interview with FightHype.com. And Floyd Schofield Sr., the father, not the son, not Kid Austin, the father, was sitting right next to his son in this interview. And he talked about how his son, who's 22 years old, who's still green in the business, who's up and coming, was an amateur sparring with world champions like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and also talking about sparring Keyshawn Davis. But the one that I want to talk about is Shakur Stevenson. Because Floyd Schofield Sr. was talking extremely reckless, talking extremely spicy, talking real gangster and heavy when he talked about his son sparring these guys. And he actually said that his son is ready to fight and defeat all of those guys. Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Keyshawn Davis. And I told y'all last week, and I'm going to say it again, this is another movie. We've seen this movie play out over and over again where fathers come out of the woodwork. We've seen it. I'm not going to name the names. I named them last week. But we've seen this movie where fathers come out of the woodwork who has been instrumental in their sons' careers as amateurs and obviously in the pros, and they take the spotlight. They have more camera time and more interviews than the son. And the son is the actual professional boxer making all of the sacrifices, honing in and sharpening up on their craft, and then the ones taking the punches inside of the boxing ring. But the sons are typically overshadowed by their fathers, and it's typically the minorities, right? But the point that I'm making is that there was a theory that Floyd Schofield Sr. said that was debunked by Shakur Stevenson himself in a very recent interview. I think it was probably yesterday. I just saw it this morning, but Shakur Stevenson was asked about that interview by Greg Hackett. So salute to Greg Hackett, who interviewed Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur Stevenson gave his take on what really happened in sparring. Since, the father wanted to talk about all of this sparring, that his son did with these champions and these polished fighters. And I'm glad Shakur spoke on this, because it's crazy how you can listen to one side of a story and the person that's telling that one side who get their story out first, it sounds so tantalizing, so entertaining, so juicy, so true that you just automatically believe it. But remember, I told y'all this, and I've been saying this ever since I've been on YouTube. And if you're a day one supporter of mine, or if you've been around the channel supporting us and watching us live and watching my videos and watching a replay of this my lives, you've heard me say this time and time again. Whether you're a day one supporter or not, you've heard me say this. It's something about truth that as soon as you hear truth, you know that it's true. When you hear a lie, as soon as you hear it, it might sound like the truth, but it's something about truth. I believe there's a mechanism that God built in every human that as soon as we hear the truth, we might not like it, we might not agree with it, we might not accept it right away. But when we walk away, we will know in our spirit that whatever we heard is true. And so when Shakur Stevenson was talking to Greg Hackett, in his interview that he did, that's all I heard was truth. And so that's why it don't matter who get the story out first. When you hear truth, you know it's true. And Shakur Stevenson, he sounded more credible than Schofield Sr. and his son, Kid Austin, telling the story of whatever or however they did in sparring with these fighters. And look, they might be telling the truth about what happened with them and Devin Haney. I don't know. But I know for sure when I heard Shakur Stevenson tell Greg Hackett what actually went down in sparring between him and this Kid Austin, sounded like Shakur was telling the truth. And also, Shakur Stevenson always keep it real. Every time I heard Shakur Stevenson talk, he always keep it 100. And I don't think he was lying now all of a sudden. Shakur Stevenson is a real one. Inside the ring and outside the ring. And I want y'all to hear what Shakur said, actually. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
Nah, that he lying, but you gotta understand, like, when we sparred, he was younger, like he wasn't on that level.
Right.
So like he was like an amateur type. I explained the whole sparring since they like go out there and talk. I wanna say we did only 4 rounds. We were supposed to do 6. He pulled up to my gym. The first rounds he like letting loose and I'm just making him miss type shit. He not getting nothing through type shit, but he just letting off, punching. By like round, and I'm just like slowly touching him to the body, boom. Slowly touching him to the body, boom. By like round 2 and 3, he started like just, I hit him like a body shot, boom. He just started moving all around the ring. Now he moving and he gasping for air, and I'm chasing him all around the ring, trying to like cut the ring off. And I want to say like around round 4 is where like I caught him a nice body shot again, and then his dad like I'm begging him for like one more. I'm like, yo, can we have one more? He jump out the ring type shit. His dad say good work, and like you gotta realize with them people, they switch their stories up. Like if you go listen to them before, you'll hear them tell you like, yo, Shakur caught me with a good body shot. I almost shit on myself or some shit like that. Like he went on the interview and said that before. And then I got messages like in my DMs, like no cap. Right after we got done sparring, he was like, yo, you the best fighter I ever got in the ring with. Like that type of, energy. So it's like now they like pushing for a fight. So, they got to switch up their tones for y'all, for like the people that's paying attention. And social media, they going to make it seem as though like they was something that they not. But he a low ass boy.